In this lesson, we're going to continue to discuss interactive. If you'd like to follow along, go under the File menu to Open, and in the Sample Files folder, scroll down to 1607, and we're going to choose 2 files. So hold down your Command key on a Mac, Control key on a PC to select the second one after selecting the first, and just click Open to open both files at the same time. Why don't we start with 1607A? And if you remember in a lesson that we were talking about hyperlinks, we added some hyperlinks to this document. There's actually a master page object that says back to table of contents, and we made that into a hyperlink that took you back to the table of contents. And also on the last page, there's a website, and we created a hyperlink to that website. Let me scroll up to the top again and fit this in my window. And we're going to export this to an interactive Acrobat by going to File, Export, and for format, choose Adobe PDF Interactive. It's going to pick up the name of our InDesign document and add .pdf at the end. We're going to save this to our desktop and just hit Save. In the Export to Interactive PDF window, we want to export all of our pages as pages, not spreads. View after exporting, so it's actually going to open the document in Acrobat. We're going to embed our page thumbnails. We could create Acrobat layers if we want, but it's really not necessary in this document. The default is going to be the default view. You can make it actual size or fit page in window or fit width. We're going to leave it at the default. Layout, we're also going to leave at the default. Presentation, we really don't want to open this in full screen mode, so we're not going to check that. There are no page transitions. And for forms and media, we want to include all. Tag PDF, we're not going to do that. And for image handling, any of the images is going to be compressed as a JPEG with medium quality and a resolution of 72. Now, of course, you could increase that and also increase the quality, but that will make the end resulting Acrobat larger. I'm just going to click OK, and let's see what happens. And there's the resulting PDF. I'm going to make it fit my window. I added some extra hyperlinks to this document after our lesson. Each one of these individual images on the cover are actually a hyperlink that takes you to the page that the image is on. If I click on this image, it's going to go to that particular page that the image is on. And you'll remember this, back to table of contents. That was a master page text frame that is working on every single page because we added the hyperlink to the master page object itself. And if I click back to table of contents, it goes right to the table of contents. One of the really nice things about tables of contents is they're automatically interactive. If I click on any one of these images that's listed in the table of contents, it goes right there. So I can now click on back to table of contents and click on some other image. Really kind of nice. Let me click on the last image and then scroll down to the last page. And you remember on the last page we had the PhotoSpin website. And if you go over the top of that and click, it's actually going to open the PhotoSpin website. Really nice. Let me close my website and also the Acrobat, and then go to the other layout, 1607B, export your form. You remember our forms lesson. Well, here we're going to export the form to an interactive Acrobat. So I'm going to go to File, Export. I'm going to save it to my desktop and make the format Adobe PDF Interactive and just click Save. And in the Export to Interactive PDF window, I'm going to leave the settings as they are. The only really important one for forms is Forms and Media Include All. And I'm just going to click OK. And it's going to export this as a form. And you can see if I click in any one of the fields, I can type. If I hit my tab key, it goes to the next field. And I could type there as well. If I go to state, you'll remember that it allows me to choose the state by clicking the down arrow or the up arrow. And I could type in the rest of my fields. Why don't I scroll down a little bit further? In this next section, the first question, I needed to choose one. So we made them radio buttons. And with radio buttons, you can choose only one in that section. So if I click on InDesign, it's only going to choose that. But if I click on Illustrator, it's going to deselect InDesign and select Illustrator. In the next section, we use checkboxes. And if I check any of these, it's going to have a check mark next to it. And I can choose as many as I want. The next section, once again, I could choose the most appropriate answer. That means there can only be one answer. So I'm going to click Easy. If I change my mind and click Not Too Hard, Easy is deselected. I'm going to go back to Easy. And down the bottom, we had these buttons. The first button will actually clear everything we just did, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to hit Print, however, and you can see when I hover over the button, it actually gets highlighted as if it's inset. So I know that it's a button and I'm supposed to click. I could just click Print in order to print, but I'm going to hit Cancel. And if I hover over this last button, you can see it's inset to let me know that it's a button, and also a note pops up that says Submit. Let me click on that, and it wants to know, do I want to send the email using my desktop email application or some internet email application? I'm going to leave it with my desktop and just click OK. And it's going to open my mail program and automatically mail it to the name specified in the email address from when we were setting up the form in InDesign. And you can see that all of the answers have actually been saved and are already in the email. Pretty cool. In the next lesson, we're going to continue discussing interactive.